Welcome back to Press Review. Let's look at today's headlines, starting as usual with the front pages in the UK. A headline in the Daily Telegraph says senior business figures launched yesterday a strong and united attack on Labour's pledge to raise the top rate of tax to 50%, saying it will harm the economy. Politicians including Boris Johnson have urged the Chancellor to cut top banding to 40%. The paper also says fracking will be allowed to take place onto homes without the owner's permission under plans being considered by the government. The Independent says a huge number of adults moved to London, causing a brain drain from other UK cities. London accounts for the vast majority of public and private sector jobs created in recent years. The paper also mentions Mohammed Asghar, a mentally ill British pensioner sentenced to death for blasphemy in Pakistan. He has been denied independent legal advice to help him appeal. And The Guardian says the government accepted thousands of pounds from a fraudster to assist the global trade in fake bomb detectors. The paper also says Ed Balls has hit back at accusations that the Labour Party is anti-business by saying the 50% income tax rate would only be temporary. The Gulf News said Adli Mansour has announced Egypt will have presidential elections before parliamentary polls. The decision may help to provide clarity on whether Defense Minister Abdel Fattah al-Sisi will run for leader. The paper also shows a photo of the Dubai tram, which is currently undergoing trial runs across a 2.5-kilometer stretch. The tram will be in formal operation as of November. And the Arab News hails an expat-friendly decision to postpone a proposal that restricts expats staying in the kingdom for more than 7 years. One commentator said the plan would increase prices of goods and services and make the market non-competitive. The paper also shows the photo of a building that collapsed in Jeddah yesterday with no reported injuries. And from Turkey, where the Daily Today's Zaman says Erdogan's speech is increasing division. The article says Erdogan's strong bashing of the opposition, business groups, media and civic groups in public speeches may be an indication that he has found himself with his back against the wall amid serious corruption and bribery allegations. The paper also shows a photo of an injured demonstrator in Egypt. Gunmen killed 3 Egyptian soldiers in Sinai on Sunday, prompting the government to say it would eliminate the Muslim Brotherhood. And the Jerusalem Post says Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said no concrete agreement with Iran can be reached as long as it insists it will not dismantle a single centrifuge. The article says Iran and not negotiations with the Palestinians dominated its talks with world leaders at the World Economic Forum in Davos. The paper also shows a photo marking International Holocaust Remembrance Day. And now let's take a look at the top headlines from international papers. Starting in France, Le Figaro writes that credit agency Moody's is applying pressure to a French economy suffering political and social problems, a tough job market and heavy taxation. One commentator said state intervention is preferable and that public spending could be reduced by local collectives. And the New York Times says Russia's spending on the Winter Olympics in Sochi have far exceeded official estimates. The article adds that there has been little official debate about the preparations and the costs, as the Olympics are seen as a national priority. The paper also writes that Al-Qaeda leader Ayman al-Zawahiri has directed one of the group's affiliates in Syria to withdraw to Iraq and leave operations in Syria to someone else. Leader of the ISIS in Syria, al-Baghdadi, defied the orders. The article says it is the first time in the history of world's most notorious terrorist organizations that one of the affiliates had publicly broken with the international leadership. The China Daily says Chinese investment has benefited Africa. Ethiopian President Mulatu Teshome believes China's investment in Africa will transform the fortunes of the continent and equated Chinese development in infrastructure to the Marshall Plan, which funneled US aid into Europe after World War II. And finally, Ukrainian Weekly The Day shows photos asking, is there a chance for a dialogue or has the point of no return has been passed? Photos show protesters waving the Ukrainian flag as well as political talks. President Viktor Yanukovych invited opposition leaders to hold talks to resolve the political crisis in Ukraine. And for more updates, please visit us on levant.tv. Thanks again for watching. We'll be with you tomorrow for another press review.